Hey guys, and welcome to another Polymer clay tutorial. Today we are going to create the updated version of Loot Lake in Season 6 of Fortnite with a floating island. Today's video is brought to you by NordVPN. They are protecting your personal information online, and I will tell you more about them later in this video. I was looking forward to let this tiny island float since the moment where I created Loot Lake. You know my video from last week. I created Loot Lake and then Epic Game changed the whole map just a few hours later. So here I am. I will create all the cosmetic changes because this is what I am good at. I'm not a really good player in Fortnite. I recently got shot again because I wasn't able to jump properly. This was on this floating island, by the way. So I thought I stick with what I am good at, and this is talking about the design and of course creating the floating island. And I just mixed the ochre and a really bright brown, which matches perfectly the surface of this floating island, which is all the ground of the lake. I love the creative nature of Epic Games. They always come up with such amazing ideas which you don't really expect. Well, just 1 week ago I was thinking about all the changes which could probably come to Loot Lake, and I had no idea they really would take this island, let it float. And I love that it is moving around right now because it gives the whole game a new perspective. To all different spots on the map. I experienced these one times when I landed on the island that it is really some kind of a war zone because everyone goes there right now because it's new, and I get that. And later in the game it also gets quite exciting because you have some leverage and also another place to hide on the map. And well, it is changing every day or two. I'm not sure how fast this floating island is moving on the map because I don't play that much right now. I am creating with clay. Take some really dark brown, and this will be the cover for the aluminum foil. Why did I use it? Well, as I had this stand in mind with the aluminum wire, I thought I should try to get this island as lightweight as possible, that it is really floating in the air. I even thought about using some magnets, that the island is really floating in the air. There are some mechanisms used in stores, for example, to showcase some new shoes, and they're also floating on this magnetic plate. You have probably seen that before. I thought about creating not Loot Lake, but this floating island the exact same way. Unfortunately, the floating height isn't too high, so this is why I decided to go with the aluminum wire. Put everything into a tiny cup. Haven't done that before, but it gives us a great opportunity to work on all the tiny details. Look at this tiny child chair, and there is a boat, a tiny car hidden in the mud, I have no idea what that was, probably some pieces from a tree, and this is the bathtub. I heard that this is the best spot to hide on the map since it changed. The boat, of course, some pipes sticking out of the ground. These are probably all the tubes coming from the house. So right now you're not able to use the restrooms in our vacation home. And well, you have some more tiny details, some more tubes. The most iconic piece of junk I found was this tiny teddy bear. I created it right now, but after oven hardening I somehow lost him. Maybe he was just too tiny and I accidentally removed him. Yeah, that was quite a pity. Now I'm adding some more tiny stones and also some some vegetation, underwater vegetation. There is some more wood, a landing stage, a tiny one next to the house. And I even removed these wooden structure right under the house because I wanted to recreate them. I wasn't really happy with the way they looked in the first video of Loot Lake from last week, so I decided to create that again. Now the island is finished. What is missing? The purple cube, of course. We will stick that into the mud later after oven hardening. Meanwhile, let me tell you more about today's sponsor, NordVPN. To tell you what they are doing, let's just imagine you're up-road, sitting in a nice tiny cafe, using the public Wi-Fi network, writing some mails, uploading holiday photos and maybe even doing a bank transfer. And this is where NordVPN comes into play. They protect your personal information online, whether you're using a phone, a tablet or, let's say, a laptop, up to 6 devices. And this means you'll be protected from hackers and malware, annoying ads, and even when you're using public Wi-Fi networks. Because it is encrypting your online activity, you're even able to watch streaming websites, although it's not available in the current country you are in. To visualize another example, let's pretend you're in Europe, up-road, traveling, and you want to send a friend in the US some green clay. Let's pretend this is important data or even money. So you're sitting in this restaurant using the public Wi-Fi and you don't feel really comfortable sending these important data. And the red evil snake is already getting quite hungry to get your green clay, your money, for example. This is the red hacker trying to get your data. NordVPN uses encryption technology and different servers in over 60 countries to chop them off so that your data stay your data and that it is safe. Freshly baked floating island. Let's finish this piece and after that we will create the Loot Lake changes, of course. Let's stick the purple cube into some brown clay and we try to get it really nice in shape that it looks like as if this purple cube has the strength to liften up this island. And there are even some tiny purple lines. You can either take clay, or I even thought about using a very thin string in the same color in purple. Pink? Is it pink? Is it purple? I'm always confused by these similar colors. So this one is finished. Let's work on the changes on Loot Lake. We will start with a swirl right in the middle of the lake, and while doing so, let me share another story which illustrates how important data protection is to me. 3 years ago I was traveling abroad. I had 2 incredible weeks in Namibia and Africa, and I went on a safari. I did a boats tour with sea dogs coming onto the boat trying to steal my food, but that's a story for another time. When I arrived at the airport on my way back home, I had a cup of coffee and a sandwich and I paid with my credit card. Today I would use one of the online payments with my smartphone. When I came back home, I got a call from my bank telling me that they were just checking because there was a huge withdrawal from my bank account. I was shocked, and as it turned out, the guy at the airport made a copy of my credit card and well, made that huge withdrawal. And today, when I use my phone to pay for a few bucks, I just want to feel safe. And I really want to make sure that this doesn't happen again. I really learned how easy it is to get my data. NordVPN, I'm happy to sponsor you. All you've got to do to start protecting yourself online is go to nordvpn.com/ClayClaim and use my code ClayClaim, and you'll get 66% off a 2-year plan with NordVPN. Now, this is always the most satisfying moment when I can use the liquid clay, which is also oven hardening and then becomes quite transparent. I make sure that it is everywhere. In the tutorial last week I used the liquid purple soap, but now we want to get a dark rich blue and we put this one into the oven. Freshly baked Loot Lake, now the transparent polish. Let's take more of that. To get a shiny surface of the water, it should really look like as if it is wet. Of course, you can take water if you like, but the transparent polish is more durable and it will shine no matter what. Let's take the island and let's make some last details. This is the structure right under the house, and I think this one looks better than the one before. And we will even add some more roots which are sticking out of the ground, and I'm using my hand drill for the aluminum wire. This goes in, and let's also use some clay to be sure that it isn't moving, and also the hand drill on Loot Lake. Oh, this looks weird somehow. So let's stick the wire into the lake and hopefully it will look great. It has the right position. Oh, it's floating, look at that. I take some white wool and some purple because, as you know, around this island there is this whirl, this tiny tornado, which is lifting you up when you jump inside with a glider. And I try to make it as stable as possible by using this very thin wire as well. So let's put this one into position as well. And we may need to make 2 tiny holes on the back side where we can stick in the thin wire. It works. Now I'm curious, what does it look like from the front? Oh, look at that. Guys, the updated version, that's it! Loot Lake and Floating Island. Thanks again for watching. I want to thank today's sponsor NordVPN. Go check out nordvpn.com/ClayClaim and get 66% off a 2-year plan. Just use the code ClayClaim. I guess that's it for today. Have a great weekend. See you tomorrow with another tutorial. Take care. Bye. Oh no!
The whirl is so strong.